So I would like to welcome all of you for this introductory class for Bhagavad Gita. Generally, people they would like to know about knowledge. What exactly it is. Whether it is a material knowledge or spiritual knowledge. And as we have taken birth in this material world, there are so many things that really need to know for our existence in this material world. The sole purpose of our existence is to search for happiness. And to find happiness in this world, we travel everywhere. From our native to the working place, from working place to some other place, in search of a happiness. But where it lies? How to get that? That's the big question. Because there are many anxieties in our life. Everyone has. No one is free from that. Is there any person in this world who says that I'm free from all anxieties? No. Everybody has some sort of anxiety. And to get rid of that, what we do? We hope that if we'll get well educated, then we will be from anxiety. Once we get educated, then we think about that if I get a job, I will be free from anxiety. Then after getting a job and having accumulated little bit comfortable money, we think of expanding ourselves. Then we get married, increase our family. After getting married after 1 or 2 years, thinks that now let me have a child, then I will be happy. But then, does that give happiness? Most of the people, they think that, oh, maybe now I'm working. So when I will work enough, earn enough and get retired, then I will be happy. Then I can enjoy happiness. Does that happen? Yes or no? No. And ultimately the biggest anxiety of this world is death. Everyone has to quit. And death never waits for anyone. Does it happen? So, there are very few people who have, in one sense, conquered their death. Because we see that particular time duration means our lifespan. And if someone is living long, that means he must have conquered his death. But that does not happen. Then, what is the cause of this happiness as well as unhappiness? Because as Prahlad Maharaj says in Srimad Bhagavatam, that people, they never hanker for sorrows, do they? We go to temple or we go to hospital so that we can get diseased, or we pray to God, okay, give me a lot of sufferings. Do we go for that? No. We go to temple to ask for the Lord, please bless us, be merciful on us, keep us intact, keep us happy. Then if we don't want, then why these sufferings are there? Few people they deny. They said, you people who follow spirituality, you always have a negativity towards the life. You see that everything is negative. Even though life is so joyful, but you people find out that, oh, there is a suffering. You have to quit this. Why is it so? Because that's the fact of this material life. And what is that? Here, few list of anxieties are given. Or fear. What is that? It is said that bhoge roga bhayam kule chuti bhayam vitte nripalad bhayam mane dainya bhayam bale ripu bhayam rupe jara bhayam shastre vadi bhayam gune khala bhayam kaye kritantat bhayam sarvam vastu bhayanvitam bhuvi nidam vairagyam eva abhayam. In Vairagya Shatakam, this is the book written by King Bhartrahari. He was one of the greatest king of his era. He was like an emperor of whole world that time. But once he wrote a Shringara Shatak, which was explaining about the beauty of woman, attraction between man and woman, and how it's lasts, and how ones get enamored by that attraction. In his Shringara Shataka means the 100 verses which glorify the loving relation between man and woman. That is Shringara Shataka, he wrote. And after one particular incident, he wrote a Vairagya Shatak. When he left everything, he made his younger brother king, and he left his kingdom and went to the forest and started performing austerities. So then, he wrote this particular verse, where he says that Bhoge Roga Bhayam, the person who wants to enjoy a lot, like a palatable food. If your stomach is upset and there are fabulous continental dishes are kept around, what will happen? You will be in much anxiety. My goodness, so many things are there, but I can't eat. Sometimes your stomach is good, but you eat so much, it gets spoiled. And next day you know that there is going to be a big feast. So again, mind is always harassed. So the person who wants to enjoy much, he is always getting fear of disease, getting disease. Then Kule Chuti Bhayam, if someone has born in very prestigious family, very reputed family in the city, or maybe in the colony, or maybe in the apartments of society, and they are always afraid of that their kids or their wife, their husband should not do any sort of a things which can put down their reputation. That fear is always there, and that's why we are always doubtful. If someone is going alone somewhere, we get a big question mark. Oh, now he is or she is going. If something happens, then what will be our reputation? And so many things they think about. Then everyone has this reputation problem. So that fear is always there. Vitte Nripalat Bhayam. In previous days, if you have a lot of treasure with you, wealth with you, king used to come and he used to plunder that wealth. Like the whole Chanakya Niti or Chanakya's life, we see the king of Magad that time, that was Dhanananda. He was blind for the wealth. He was extracting taxes from the people like anything. So the person who has a lot of money, he always gets scared of government. Because anytime they can come, they can put on a raid and they can take out your excess money, whatever you have. So Vitte Nripalat Bhayam. Then Mane Dainya Bhan. If someone is very celebrated, most of the people, they know him very well. And if someone comes and insults him in front of public, what happens to him? They can't survive for that. They go crazy. Few people, they have committed suicide because they got insulted in front of the people who used to honor them. So everyone has a fear of getting disrespected. Then Bale Ripu Bhayam. Whoever is a powerful, he is always afraid of his enemies, his opponents. That may be a Mike Tyson's, maybe Muhammad Ali, or maybe Khali. Where they are, maybe they are bodily very powerful. Or like a Hitler. He was very powerful. But he also had a fear in his mind. So, Bale Ripu Bhayam, Rupe Jara Bhayam. Where is beautiful? What fear they have in their mind? Exactly. Getting old. And that's why the whole cosmetic energy is running around. At the age of 40, the wrinkles started coming on the face, immediately they go for the plastic surgery. Apply this cream, that cream. They hunt everywhere to get rid of that particular problem. But do they really get free? So that fear is always there. Who is beautiful, they think always of that, getting rid of this aging. Then Shastre Vadi Bhayam, whoever is very scholar, erudite, or very expert in his own field, he is always afraid of the opponent or the person who may be very, what we can say, expert in that particular form. Like there are so many music classes going on here. Certainly there is always competition, but for same field, if someone is having a singing only, if they get another vocal classical singer and started his classes, there is always fear my student may go there. If someone is a really nice, like person who gives a nice discourses, if someone else comes, more scholar than that, he always has a fear in his heart. Oh, now this person has gone, my market will go. No one will look at me. So that bhaya or that thing is there in the heart. Then gune khala bhayam. Pious person, they are always tortured by impious people. That's we have seen in the whole history of humanity. Everywhere, any caste, creed, nationality, country you see, impious people, they always torture the pious people. So gune means pious person, khala means impious, enemy. So that thing is always there. If nothing is there around all, because the person who goes and stays in Himalayas or some in caves or some mountains meditating on, he also has one fear, and that of giving up this body, dying. The ultimate fear is death. Is there anybody free from all these things? But people don't realize that. If you ask anyone, hey, how are you? What's bro? Hey, I'm fine, cool. Is he? Is he fine? Is he cool? He is full. He is making full out of himself. He's telling lie. Then people will say, then what do you think that always we should cry for? Oh, I'm having this problem, that problem. No. You don't cry, but at least realize that you are suffering in this world. And that's why we are in search of happiness. What's the cause behind searching for the happiness?
Miseries.
Miseries, sorrows, anxieties that day to day we are facing in our life. Is that clear? So the search of happiness in this life is because of sufferings that we are undergoing. So next point of discussion, what is the difference between human being and animals? Because both are same. Is that true?
Thinking.
There are 4 common things in human beings and animals. Like in the Niti Shastra it is said, Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha samanya etat pashubhir narana. Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharmena vihina pashubhir samana. Or jnanena vihina pashubhir samana. There are 4 similarities in human beings and animals. First is eating. We also eat, they do eat. But our way of eating is little bit sophisticated, fine. And animals, they have their own way of eating. But after eating, whatever satisfaction they are going to get it or what we are going to have it, is same. Is there any difference? If my hunger gets satisfied and any dog's hunger gets satisfied, both are on the equally platform where they are having the satisfaction level, if you say, will be the same. But sometimes we can see the animals, they more enjoy the eating thing than the we in quantity wise. How much we can eat? A 10 kg per day? No, like few pounds. Or due to the now dieting and everything, people try to reduce their quota. So even though we want it, but still we can't enjoy this eating propensity in our this bodily life, especially in the human form of life. If someone likes a gulab jamun, how much he can eat? Any sweets or ice creams? Can you eat a 10 kg of ice cream one day? No. But if you look at them, elephants, how much do they eat a day? 3 quintals minimum. A baby elephant can eat up to 200 or 175 kgs per day. The big elephant can go up to 300 to 350 kgs per day. So who is enjoying more than us? In the quantity wise. And they do not have to work, or they don't have to pay. For them, nature has provided everything, for us also, but we put extra endeavor. Someone may be like a Bill Gates, he may be earning in billions of dollars. But when he feels hungry, what he eats? Golden biscuits? Or diamond studded salad? He's eating the same thing what we are. Bread, biscuits, salads, juice, fruits, grains. Or the beggar who begs, or the people, homeless people who stays on a road, what they eat? Same thing. Same satisfaction they are getting after eating. Then what's the difference? Second thing is sleeping. How much and how long we can sleep? Generally, 6 hours a day. Now that has also reduced because of
work stress or something.
Internet. Even students, they don't have any work stress.
Video games.
Yes. Due to the so-called material advancement and the things and amenities that we have created, most of this actually, this electricity. Whole day you sit in the office, you don't know how time goes. But if you are exposed to the external weather, then at least you know now the time is to rest. Now sun has come on the head, so I have to go and have my food. But you have constant same luminosity at a home, so you don't know how time is going on. That happens. In your childhood, what time you used to go to bed?
7 or 8.
And now? 7 is like a midday for us.
Yeah.
Huh? We go to bed at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, sometimes 3:30, just to take a nap because morning I have to go. No sleep at all. Do we have a really satisfaction of sleep? Now most of the psychologists, doctors, they are prescribing, they are writing on their prescription, minimum 8 hours of sleep needed for you. And because doctor has prescribed, that's why you are sleeping. So is that a fine thing, or this is what aspired by the human being? Look at the animals. All they shut down their whole day business by 5:30. All over the world you see. Most of the birds, they come back to their nest at what time? Around 5:30 if you have closely observed. You will not find any crow just flying around at 10 o'clock at night. Have you seen? Or any sparrow coming at 9:30 at your window and chirping. Huh? Never. Their clock is set with the nature and they are following the nature's law and they are happy. But we are not. Because we are going against the nature. Polar bears, they can sleep for a 6 month. So who is getting more pleasure of sleeping? Animals than the human beings. The next is mating. How much and how many children we can produce? Nowadays people, they are not going for children only, just they wanted to have many. I was just reading, someone gave me one paper today about how the population percentage is going down in US. There was a baby boomers or something like that in terms.
Yeah.
Huh? Because when most of the soldiers, they come back after 6 or 7 years of war, and within the next 1 or 2 years, like there are so many babies are coming up that's what happened in 2014 and 2012 something. So that ratio was given. And they have mentioned that in whole the US, the immigrants are more and they are increasing in the population rather than the locals one. Because the youngers, they are not ready to produce child. Why? There is a fear of budget. To complete my graduation, it took me like a $70,000. I have taken a student loan and completed my education. How I can do it for my kids? To repay the $70,000, I have to spend my whole life. Then where I'm going to take care of my kids? So they don't want that responsibility. If someone is fortunate, if they try also, after 6-7 years they get a baby. Previously it was never used to happen. Because of proper sleep, satisfied mind, and no material botheration, every year there was like a machine is going on. And house is full of kids. Now it's not happening. Even that having a child, that is also, if someone is really healthy, regular in all his habits, once in a year he can have. Look at the animals. How many times they can have? Like a cat, thrice a year and minimum 10 to 12. So how many?
36.
Per year. So who is having better satisfaction of having kids? Animals than the human being. Then defending. Animals, they have their natural claws, teeth, their speed, through which they can defend themselves. And for us, we need an ammunition factory, weaponaries. Behind there's a big industry which can save us or which can defend us, or full the home ministry with different departments, like a border, the soldiers are there, BSF force, border security force, army, then what else and what not, everything. This is for our protection. So do we think that human life is meant for these 4 things only? Huh? Animals are far better than us in these 4 things. Humans do these activities in more sophisticated manner, but the activity is same. Finer, more refined intelligence allows us to question and search for a true happiness. That's the real difference between animals and human being. Use human intelligence to solve the real problems of life. Otherwise, how are we different from animals? Then what are the real problems of life? Think about it. No idea.
The longing.
Absolute truth.
Longing. We're always seeking to fulfill some sort of longing.
The real purpose of human form of life is to inquire about absolute truth. And that's why it is known as a Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Inquire about the eternal happiness. How we can get that. Because the real problem of lives are, their nature is that they are common to all. Nobody wants it and no one can avoid it. So what are the problems?
Birth, disease.
Hmm? What are the real problems? I have given on that note.
Birth, disease, birth.
Cycle of birth and death.
Exactly. These are the real problems that need to be solved. And they are common to all. Whether one is rich or poor, human being or animal, whoever may be, everyone has to take birth, get diseased, get old, and die. Who wants it? Is there anybody who endeavors for that? For birth, for the someone else's birth we endeavor, but for our birth we don't endeavor. Someone is already endeavored and we have taken birth. Okay, I wanted to grow old. Is there anybody who is doing special, what we can say, effort for that? Nobody does that. But still, you can't avoid them. Is there anybody who has avoided all of them? No. And that's the real thing we have to work about. These are the real problems we have to come over. Not only these three, these four, but there are some other things also that gives us sufferings. You may be wondering that what this person is doing. He's just telling the list about the problems in the life. Because we don't have a realization about that. We don't realize about this in our life. We do day-to-day work, routine things, but we never ponder on these particular things, that why I am suffering. I am investing all these problems because we are ignorant of that problems. We are taking them very casually and we are not working on that. So here there are threefold miseries that everyone is undergoing. One is Adi Daivika, by material nature. Material nature means nature. Whatever we see around, that's. Then Adi Bhautika. These problems are created by other living entities. And then Adhyatmika. These problems created by our own self, by our own body and by our own mind. And we look toward the science to give solution for this. The modern science is working very hard, putting its much more endeavor to get solution for these problems. But are we really getting rid of these problems? Let's analyze what are these problems. First, this is about modern solution that we'll see afterward. The first we'll deal with the problems. This is Adi Daivika. The problem created by material nature, flood, drought. Is that something that modern scientists can do something for this?
Yes.
What they can do?
We have, for drought, we have water that we pump water, move water. We use plumbing pipelines to be able to save water, store water for droughts, floodings.
These solutions are there, but how many people they are applying it? Every time the new government comes and that promises, we'll do this, we'll do that, but nothing comes. Is there, all these things are in their hands? That somebody has come and he has taken the management of the whole USA and he has decided now there will be rain, and rain started. Or is there any research institute that they have created some phenomena through which there was a rain So in the desert area they created rain and everything has become green and lush now. Everything has become lush green now. Huh? Has it happened anywhere?
Theoretically, yes.
Practically tell me. Theoretically anything can happen. I can become a son of 100 kids. Theoretically it is possible. But practically? I don't have that lifespan even to have 100 kids. Be practical. That's the problem with the modern science. They go theoretically. Assumption. They have what they call theories for that, but no experimental or practical knowledge for that. Then further, Adi Bhautika. Adi Bhautika means trouble given by other living entities. Like someone is stealing, pickpocketing the things, or stabbing you, or scolding at you, or beating you up. Some other living entity is creating problem for you. And simplest as a mosquito bite. Somehow or other, somewhere, something is happening. And we are miserable, but we don't realize it. Adi Bhautika means trouble given by other living entity. Like I am torturing you here now. Huh? Then there is a problem or miseries which is called as a Adhyatmika. Body or mind. If someone gets frustrated, problem is created by mind. It's my mind which has given me a frustration. Then what they do? What this guy is doing?
Destruction.
Frustration destroys everything. You, your consciousness, your atmosphere, your surrounding, everything gets disturbed. And bodily pain creates problem in your own performance. So is there anybody who is free from these three things? So ultimately all we are in the same page that we are suffering in this world. Agreed?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, we are. Then what we have to do? Should we go scientifically to find the solutions?
No.
Because solution based on the modern science, which is created by human beings, and human beings has 4 defects. What are they? Where he may be the president, he may be a great scholar, he may be a scientist, he may be a layman, he may be a household wife, he may be a businessman, MCD or CMD, whatever he may be. Everyone has these 4 faults. What are they?
Birth, disease, death.
These are the problems. I'm speaking about the 4 faults.
Eating,
Eating, defending.
defending, sleeping,
These are the common things that we and an animal do.
mating.
So that's the same activities that we perform. What is the fault that human being has? They are divided into 4 categories. I have not given it here, but still I'm giving you a chance to use your intelligence, your experience, what you had for previous time. Just try to. I'm giving you 3 minutes. You work it out.
Limitation.
Just ponder on that.
Limitation.
Think. First think and then.
Definitely senses.
Sorry?
Through senses we interact in this world, and that is a limitation, because if you go by the senses.
Exactly. That means imperfect senses. That's the first fault we have. Why imperfect senses? Even blind people, they have eyes. Do they? But they can't see. Why? They don't have a seeing power. We are seeing through the power that our brain has. We can't see in the darkness. Why? We have best of our eyes. We have seeing power also, but we can't see it in the darkness. Because of a seeing power depends upon the light. If that light gets reflected in your eyes, then only you can able to see the things. If it is too close, just try to see the lines on your hand, putting it near, exactly touching your nose. Can you see it? No, why? It's your eyes, it's your hand, and you are going to see it, but you are not able to see it. If I have to read what you are writing it now on your page, am I able to see that? Even though I can just see that some scribbling is there on the paper, but what exactly the word formation, I can't see that. Or neither you can see the letters on this keyboard from there. Why? Because senses have their own limitations. Beyond that they can't work. One more example. Sound. Less than the 9 decimal, are you able to hear? General people, they don't know even that at what range they can hear, and beyond that range you can't hear that also. Like 108 hazards or giga was they say. If that too loud, then your eardrums get blown away. It gets imbalanced and you may faint also. And there are sound waves in this room also. But you can't hear them unless and until that frequency get matched with your aerodrum. What is this mobile? How it works? It catches sound waves which are present in the ether. But when it get connected with that particular frequency, then this forms a sound and you can able to hear it. That means the perception through our own senses is limited and it depends some extra aid from the outside. Got it? So imperfect senses, that's the first fault that all we have. So what's the second one then?
Mind that simply follows the senses without any control. Just the mind.
If through these senses, I am not able to get a proper knowledge, then whatever knowledge we have, what we called it as?
Incomplete.
Transient.
Illusion. It's a Brahma, or it's my perception. Like few people, you see, during the winter, they don't need any sort of inner garments or jackets or sweaters. They are comfortable. And few people, they put inner one, they put 2-3 extra one, then they need some heat to. Why is it so? Because our perception is also relative. For someone like 100 degrees Celsius temperature of a water, they say it's normal. And for someone it's like a 40 degrees Celsius also, it's too hot. So our knowledge part is in illusion. So because of this imperfect senses, we are into illusion, Brahma. If someone is in an illusion, what he will try to do? Will he able to explain it to everyone? You know how foolish I am. Do we do that? What we try to do? To cover up that, we try to cheat others. This is what we do. No? Sometimes something one of our students asks and we don't know, then what we do?
Lie.
Huh?
Lie.
Yeah. Either straightforwardly lie or just change the subject, change the topic. That's why we are cheating them. And we do cheat. We do cheat ourselves. We do cheat our immediate loved one. We do cheat the society. We do cheat the whole humanity. Because we are cheating the God. We go in front of the Lord, take out our wallet, take some dollars, just looking at Him, we put it in the donation box. And what we think? I'm donating. Rascal. Who has given you this money? Have you created at your home? A manufactured in the factory? No, I endeavored for that. But who has given you strength to endeavor? Is that your own strength? No, I eat properly, I pay for that. Okay. But does by paying everything you get as bodily strength? Then Bill Gates would have been the most muscular person in the world. Huh? Nothing. Because our senses are imperfect, our knowledge is imperfect, we are in illusion. Because we are in illusion, so we try to tend to cheat. And the fourth one, because of that, we are miserable in this world. That's our fault. So through this, if we try to work it out, then rather than working out on the solution, we'll create more problems. Like to get rid of a hectic traveling for days together, to travel like 100 miles. Previously, people used to go for 2 days on horse riding, or maybe by walk. It used to take months together. Nowadays, just be in the car, ignition, 2 hours you can go 100 miles, or maybe in the hour also. But to have that convenience, what do you have to have along with that? To have some facility to reach early to meet your loved one. You have to have a car industry first, the manufacturing unit where they will create the cars. Then if you have a car, they need to have a tires. For tire there is another factory. If tire is there, car is there, engine is there, everything is set up nicely, you need to have a proper roads. If their roads are uneven, then life becomes a hell while driving. So to just save or facilitate one thing, we have created a lot of inconvenience. If there is an accident, oh, I can't reach, there was an accident and all together a chain of 20 cars are smashing each other. So we got jammed in traffic, so can't go. That half an hour takes then 3 hours. So these are the solutions that we can do by the scientific advancement. Do you think this scientific modern technology can help us to get rid of our problems? How many of you are agree? No one. Because they don't have a solution. They have a solution which will create another problem for you. Then what is the happiness that we get through our senses in this world? And that happiness is like a chewing the chew, like a chewing gum. Chewing gum, what do you do? How much pleasure you can get that by doing this? The happiness in this material world is same. Through senses, what you want to perceive. You try to get it more and more, and that creates a misery for you. Punascharvita charvananam. That's what Prahlad Maharaj says. The happiness in this material world is like a chewing the chewed. So let's see how to achieve the real happiness. That will go further, not now. Now we will see. Through all these senses, like eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin, we want to pursue happiness through this only. No? People, they endeavor so much. They do the world tour. For what? I wanted to see that Eiffel Tower and take a snap so that I'm touching the top of that Eiffel Tower. Okay? Someone wants to go and see the wonderful waterfalls at Niagara. Huh? Few people, they go to Brazil to see the different rivers, how they are coming and meeting each other, and the whole, that part is divided by the rivers. And that they wanted to have a sky view. From the aeroplane or helicopter they wanted to see. Just for the sightseeing, they spend millions of dollars. They hold so many big contests. Miss World, Miss Universe, Miss this, Miss that. For what? Satisfaction of eyes. Nothing else. But these eyes, they have caused death for so many people. Sometimes they drive car, get some WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, it rings, they take a mobile in the hand and next moment, nothing is there. Smashed out because of eyes. Ears to hear what we are not doing. There are different, what's that? Like woods. Somewhere in US or Europe they have that woods festival where like lakhs of youngsters they join there for the pop music and everything. What's that? Woods? Woods something? Woods festival they call it somewhere.
Music festival?
Music festival.
Woodstock?
Woodstock.
Woodstock.
Lakhs of youngsters they go there. They fly from Europe, Germany, here and there. For what? To get the pleasure of hearing. They are mad for that. Nose to smell. The whole perfume industry is flourishing because of that particular sense. Tongue to taste. The whole restaurant industry is running on that. Billions of dollars they are spending. And skin to have a nice sense pleasure. People like every place now is converting into that. People they go to Las Vegas, Manhattan, Hawaii, then Thailand, Hong Kong. For what? Just to have the sensual pleasure. Our scripture says there are 5 animals, because of each of these one uncontrolled senses has lost their freedom and their happiness. For example, moth. Moth always get attracted toward the light. And what happens? It enters into the light and burns out. So he loses his life as well as freedom. Then, ear. In previous days, when hunter used to catch deer, he used to sit under the tree and he used to play a flute very nicely, melodiously. And that sound of a flute used to attract the deer, and the deer used to come closer to that sound. And as hunter used to judge that now he's under my range, and as soon as he's under the range of that hunter, he immediately used to shoot arrow. And deer used to get pierced with that arrow. Either that deer used to lose his life or he used to lose his freedom. Then sense of nose, smell. Bumblebee, which is humming around the lotus. Generally I am giving example of this lotus bumblebee because it gets so much attracted to the smell of that fragrance from the lotus. The whole day that bumblebee gets stuck in that lotus only. And after sunset, when that lotus closes, what happens? That bumblebees also get captured inside that lotus. and it dies due to the suffocation. So bumblebee is losing his life because of the sense of smell, that is nose. Then the next, tongue. Most of the retired people in US I have seen, they go to the lake and what they do? Fishing. Huh? And how they catch fish?
One.
Through the hook. That crazy creature, even though everything is there in the water, but still it hankers for that. Something is hooked in that hook and loses his own life. Next is skin. Do you know how they capture elephants? No. They train one female elephant, and when she's really got nicely trained, they let her go in the forest. And generally what happens, one elephant in his herd, there is only one elephant and maybe a baby small male elephant, and other are all females. He never lets any other male elephant to be in his herd. He always kicks him away and asks him to go and form his own herd. But not here. These are my area of enjoyment. And whenever, if some new female comes from the other herd or somewhere, he gets attracted to that. What that female elephant does, she comes and rubs his body on his body. And he gets attracted by that sense of, that sensual pleasure, and it runs to enjoy her. And what she does, because she is well trained, she directs that elephants toward the big ditch which is already covered. And that elephant comes and he falls into that ditch. And he loses his own freedom. Even though such a biggest and strongest animal, but afterward he gets controlled by the small nose, just 1.5 feet. Then, if these animals, these poor animals, these poor creatures, they are getting captured or losing their life because of one uncontrolled sense, what to speak of human beings like us, whose senses are so developed? If you want to see, by sitting here we can see what's happening there on the next, what's going on in Japan or what's going on in China through this modern technology. We can hear by sitting here what's going on there. So we have such advanced technologies to satisfy our senses which are not getting satisfied. Do you think what will happen with us? Just imagine the all objects for our senses. Like a food has a hand and that wanted to grab your tongue. Some beauty has a nice eye and it has a hands and that is plucking out your eyes. Some tape recorder or some music player instrument is there and that is pulling your ear. Huh? Someone is sitting next to you and just pulling out your skin. And everything is happening simultaneously. What will happen to you? You'll go crazy. And that's what's happening with us. And we are not realizing that. We say, I am troubled, I am morose. Find out. Because of what? Which particular senses is drying you or dragging you toward its satisfaction, and that satisfaction is not getting fully, that's why you are getting frustrated with the life. So the cause of frustration is nothing but our attachment to all this sense perception. Then how to achieve the real happiness? Can you read it? Yeah?
Spiritual books of India tell us that we cannot achieve real happiness from the senses or from scientific advancement. Real happiness comes from within, and the spiritual texts implore us to seek out that source of inner happiness.
So inner happiness lies within you. The real happiness lies within you. Then how to know about it? And to know it, the word itself is called Vedas. Vedas means to know. And they are divided into two categories. One is Shrutis. Shrutis means the knowledge which we have heard. Smritis means which is remembered. So amongst the Shrutis, there are 4 Vedas. Rug Veda, which deals with the, previously actually it was only one Veda, that is Rug Veda, which deals with different sorts of yagyas, the ingredients that needed for performing sacrifice. It gives knowledge about that. Then there is a Samaveda. Samaveda gives knowledge about mantras, how to pronounce these mantras. It has a matra, it has a chanda, it has a meter, the way it should be pronounced. That has explained in Samaveda. Then there is a Yajurveda. Yajurveda deals with different varieties of, like there is a science of weaponry is explained there. Physics, chemistry, biology, everything is explained in Yajurveda. Then there is a Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda deals with different subjects. But ultimately all they are meant to know the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. The creation, how it takes place, how it gets annihilated, how it is maintained, and what is the real purpose of this creation. Why we are here. These Vedas are further divided into 3 parts. Actually 4. I forgot to write down one. That is, it starts with the Samhitas, then Brahmanas, and then Aranyakas, and then Upanishads. Samhitas are meant for the brahmacharis, the celibate students who can study about. And Samhitas mostly explained about the creation, the creator, and how to pray him. Prayers to the God. After getting expert in Samhitas, then he is trained into Brahmanas. Brahmanas are like sutras, like Manusmriti, Yajnavalkya Sutra, Parashar Sutra, Grahya Sutra. These are meant for the householder at how to lead a social life. That has explained in Brahmanas. Then there are Aranyakas. The Vanaprasthas, the person who are retired from the family life, who go into forest, who reside there. For them, how to maintain their consciousness in that particular ashram or that particular lifestyle. How to work on that. That has explained in Aranyakas. And then there are Upanishads. They are meant for the sannyasis. Upanishad means you have to sit next to or near to your spiritual master and get a knowledge from him. And there are thousands of Upanishads. It is said that each Vedas had 11,000 Upanishads. So altogether 44,000. But right now, presently, there are only 108 Upanishads which are in the written form. These are called Shrutis. In previous eras, people used to get knowledge about them just by hearing. Because people used to be a Shrutidhar those days. Once they heard it, no need to repeat for them. They can remember it throughout the life. Now, what I heard in the morning, I don't know in the evening. Or maybe just 10-15 minutes back what I have heard, it is gone. Flushed up. Because that's the nature of the people who has born in this age of Kali. What they are? Manda, Sumanda Matayo, Manda Bhagya Upadrataha. They are lazy by nature. Sumanda means confused. And Alpa Ayuhu, very short span of a life. And most important thing is that upadhritaha. Upadhrita means mind is always disturbed. Somehow, maybe sitting here or thinking about 10 years back what I have given to person and not got it back. Does that make any sense now? Thinking about that? But mind does that. Be honest and tell me. For last 1 hour, we are sitting here. How many times you have gone out of this room?
Many.
We can't count that even. That's the nature of mind, in particular in the age of Kali. So it's very difficult to get knowledge through Shrutis now. Then there are Smritis. Smritis are like Puranas or Itihasas. There are 18 Puranas, few are in the mode of goodness, few are in the mode of passion, few are in the mode of ignorance. Then there are Itihasas, Ramayana, Mahabharata. These are histories, they are not mythologies. Most of the people, they term them as a mythologist. Indian mythologists. They think it is a myth because they don't experience it. But as we have discussed already, how our sense of perception through the senses is imperfect, then how you can get the perfect knowledge? That's why we have to get this knowledge through disciplic succession. And in this particular course, we will concentrate our mind or focus our mind on the Bhagavad Gita, which is considered as the essence of all Vedic scripture. So Bhagavad Gita is India's timeless classic on all facts,
Facets.
of spiritual knowledge. Actually faces, that's... So Song of God, which is Bhagavad Gita, word to word meaning, and it was put into writings 5,000 years ago by Vedavyasa. It's a part of a Mahabharata, Yuddha Parva. And there it comes. And there are 700 verses in Bhagavad Gita. What are the topics of Bhagavad Gita? There are 5 important topics, main topics, and there are 2-3 other also. The first is, it speaks about Atma, the soul. Second, it speaks about the Ishvara, the Supreme Lord or Controller. Third, it speaks about the Prakriti, the material nature. Fourth is Kala, time. Then fifth is Karma, duty or actions. Then it speaks about the reincarnation, life after death. Then it speaks about our eternal duties toward the Lord or this material nature. That is Sanatana Dharma. And the process through which we can connect ourselves with the Lord, which is known as a yoga. And this, all topics are universal. It's not sectarian, that we have to clear first of all. Otherwise people think that Bhagavad Gita is only for those who was born in India and it's an Indian scripture. No. It is a universal scripture. Because whatever topics are discussed there, they are related with everyone. It's not that Indian human beings are only having a soul and Americans they have something different, or Chinese may have something else. No. All the continent is habituated with the human being and they are the soul. All the living beings who are present in this earthly planet, all are soul, part and parcel of the Lord. Everyone believes in a God. Even the atheistic person, he also believes in a God. That's why he says that there is no God. Can you think about the thing which has never existed? Are you getting me what I'm saying? Just think about the thing which is not existed.
Ether.
There should be something about, then you will think about that. No? People are saying there is a no God because there is a God. If that thing is not there, then where the question comes about its discussion? Does it comes? Why you have to discuss about the thing which is not there? Because there is a God, that's why people, they claim that there is a no God. Got it? It's the contradiction in the same thing only. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to say that we really appreciate the atheistic people because they have so much of confidence that there is no God. And the people who has faith in the God, they are not able to have that much conviction. Sometimes they get, something happens, oh, is he there? Huh? When something is good happening, we never bothered about the existence of God. Why? Because it's our done. And if there are troubles, sufferings, then we do care. Is he there? Why I am suffering? Why they are not? We compare immediately. So, Bhagavad Gita has these 6, 7, 8 topics which we will see one by one each of our session. Let's see what the great personalities, their view about Bhagavad Gita. Would you like to read?
Yeah. Mahatma Gandhi says the Bhagavad Gita calls on humanity to dedicate body, mind and soul to pure duty and not to become mental voluptaries at the mercy of random desires and undisciplined impulses.
That's when if you are following uncontrolled senses, then you will doom. So let's try to use body, mind and soul for the pure duties. Yes, Guru Raj, what he says? Albert Einstein? Guru.
He said Guru Raj.
Oh, I said use Guru Prasad. No? Okay.
When I read the Bhagavad Gita and reflect about how God created this universe, everything else seems so superfluous.
That's what Einstein, the great, he thinks about. Yes, anybody?
The Bhagavad Gita, Ralph Waldo Emerson said, the Bhagavad Gita is an empire of thought, and in its philosophical teachings, Krishna has all the attributes of the full-fledged monotheistic deity and at the same time the attributes of the Upanishadic absolute.
This foreigner is from Europe. This guy has understood that the Bhagavad Gita is a cream of Upanishads and Krishna is person. Yes, who will read next?
The Bhagavad Gita has a profound influence on the spirit of mankind by its devotion to God, which is manifested by actions.
It will take another 20 minutes if I start this one. Should I continue? Or we'll do it next time?
Next time, take darshan.
We'll do it next time. So we'll setting the scene for starting the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So if anyone has any question, you can ask, or if not, then we can just go and have a darshan. No question? Huh? Got bored, huh?
Interesting.
Interesting? So would you like to continue every Wednesday? Sure?
If other people who want to join this, let them know.
So from next time it will start sharp at 7 o'clock.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because otherwise then it will be delayed. Because what happens from next week we'll start discussing topics, then there will be a lot of questions. And I'm giving a chance for you for that. Because it will be an interaction thing. It's not just I'm speaking and you are just... I don't want that. Then I give or start one topic, all of you will have your own Bhagavad Gita with you. And like I have said today that tomorrow or next week I am going to talk about the soul. then you have to prepare yourself for the whole week. Just find it out what Lord speaks about the soul. Bhagavad Gita has a general index backside, you can just go through that. You will find out different pages what is. And then we will discuss. Then the whole week will be like you are surcharged with this knowledge. You are just contemplating on that. That's the main purpose of this discussion. So that whatever we are discussing for the whole week, you have to contemplate, think and ponder on that. So that it will help you. Otherwise it's a waste of time. Your and mine also. If you are not practicing this for the whole week. This is what needed. As you do twice or once a week. Once a week you have a class and you ask them to practice at home. So now, what you have learned today, what you have understood today, I am going to ask first 5 minutes next week that what we have discussed today. I am going to ask it after 1 week. So you need to prepare for that. That will not a big questions, but little bit I will ask so that refresh or recap the whole thing what we have done. Okay, is that proper or too much?
It's appropriate.
Okay, that's good.
That's good.
Thank you so much for your kind attention and tolerating me for last 1 hour and 11 minutes 30 seconds. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.